Azai suddenly popped up from the bed, and the cavitation noodles boxes in the room piled up into mountains, looking like a garbage mountain mocking him. The sunlight shone directly in, and he thought to himself, damn, why did this sun fight me with the bell? I played the game until midnight yesterday, and now I'm in a terrible pain. He grabbed the bubble bread, stuffed it in the microwave, pressed the switch, and then opened the game interface on the computer chair. I'll stay at home today. It's so good to have a brush level. Who's going to go out to bake the sun? With a sniff of microwave, he picked up the hot noodles, sat back on the computer, and danced on the keyboard with his fingers. The character in the game cut monsters, and he ate and complained, this boss is too weak, I can do it in one move. Real life is not so simple. When I was just so happy, the old slippers on my feet suddenly flashed blue, like a cheap neon light shaking. He was surprised that the bowl was tilted and the soup was filled with juice. What's wrong with these torn shoes? Is it a curse for the noodles I ate? Or is it a flash of ejaculation in the game? He stared at his slippers and thought to himself, I don't want to become a Superman. It's so irritating. Maybe I'll do it and run and kill me. The slippers swayed, and a light and shadow popped out from it, turning into a villain, looking like a guy in the animation, but dressed in a broken way. It coughed twice and said, boy, do you think you are an ordinary otaku? From today on, your days are about to turn over. Azai was stunned. Who are you? Will my slippers talk? Oh my god, should I buy a sobering agent? He pinched his thigh hard, and his eyebrows were so painful. Okay, even if you're not a hallucination, do you want to fuck? Don't say I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to be too far away when I go to the bathroom. The big fairy in the slippers laughed loudly, and the sound was like a loudspeaker. Ah, save the world? It's so exaggerating. But you are the one chosen by heaven, and you have to chase the legend of that marathon. Think about it, how exciting it is to run. Azai shook his head. Marathon? I feel disgusted when I hear it. I'm even gasping for the stairs. This joke is too far apart. He didn't want to continue, so he put on his shoes tightly and rushed out to the convenience store. The street was driving a dragon, and the crowd rushed over. He walked down and thought to himself, this is so irritating. Once I was seen by the neighborhood, I became a monster. Within 2 steps, he bumped into a girl with the coffee on her hand. The girl's name is Xiaomei. She looks like she is in her 20s and is dressed very stylishly and lively. She stared at him. Oh, where are your eyes long? Do you apologize if you hit someone? Azaka stepped back and awkwardly, I'm sorry, I'm just walking and dazed. Your coffee, want me to buy you a cup? He complained in his heart, oh, I hit the beauty, her eyes seem to be saying my IQ. I hope she won't notice the weird things on my feet. Xiaomei looked at his slippers, which were still slightly light. Wait, what's the thing in your foot? Like a science fiction prop, are you troubled? I think you're weird. She approached, and the sabba was tightening. It's okay, it's just a pair of old shoes, it's like this when you buy it. Ha, I'm just an otaku, there's no big problem. He smiled strongly and thought to himself, this woman is so curious. I haven't finished asking for it, I have to run away. Xiaomei didn't stop, really? It looks cool. Are you playing games? If you need to talk, I'll work nearby. Azai shook his hands. No, I'll just stay at home. Thank you, see you again. He turned around and slipped away, his voice relaxed in his heart, I've been thrown away. The woman is chasing her and asking her. It's better to go home. Back at the apartment, he climbed onto the sun and gasped, and the wind blew the door. The big fairy in the slippers appeared again. Boy, the outside world is not worthy, right? You should hear me now. Azaka sat down. Okay, you won. What is this ability, to be honest? The big fairy in the slippers said proudly, simple, you can make things float up. Try it, take the soap box. Azaka was half believing and half doubted, staring at the box, focusing. The box slowly flew up, and he shouted excitedly, wow, is this true? I'm superhuman. but the box swayed and fell and hit him in the head. Oh! It hurts so much, this ability is too weak. The slipper fairy laughed. Ah, it's not that easy. You have to practice and accept adventure. Azaka rubbed his head and thought to himself, practice? It's so exhausting when he hears it. I just want to lie down and play the drama. It's so irritating. Suddenly, a flash of light shot out from the slippers, illuminating the entire sun. Azai widened his eyes and his heart beat faster. He didn't know what would happen next. Azai shook back to the room, and as soon as the door opened, the familiar smell of noodles was still there, but he immediately noticed that the messy clothes and empty boxes began to shake slightly, as if waiting for something. He rubbed his eyes and thought to himself, damn, has this flash damaged my brain? I thought it was a new game special effect, but the house turned into a drama scene. The sound of the big fairy and the slippers came out from the floor, and I loved to talk. Hey, boy, are you still in a daze there? That flash is a reminder for you. If you don't practice running, your room will be depressed. The soap box will run and chase you, like a ghost, and you will be sure that you can't even play games. Azaka sat back on his computer chair and opened the game interface tightly. Don't be so arrogant, big fairy. I don't want to go any steps. This game is so terrible, so I'll feel good when I sit at home. He quickly hit his fingers on the keyboard, complaining in his heart, do you think you are a super boss? When I get it busy, it will turn off. Who is going to mess with your life for running? As the voice fell, the Lego lamella in the corner of the room suddenly flew up and headed straight for him. He quickly flashed his body, and the wood hit the computer table, making a bang. Oh! My table! Azaka jumped up and pointed at the great Immortal of slippers. Your torn shoes are really fucked. Can we talk? Can I buy you new slippers and change them? The big fairy in the slippers laughed loudly, and her voice roared in the room. Talk? Talk your sister, boy. Do you think I'm joking? Think about that little beauty, how funny she looks at you. If you are good at running, you may be able to catch up with her next time you meet her, instead of being looked at by her. It shook, and the soaked noodles box began to stumble around, ejaculating like a slut. Azai squatted down and hit a box, thinking to himself, catch up with Xiaomei? Please, the woman's eyes seem to say that I am owed a fee for my IQ. I would be chased by a game monster, and I don't want to be a monkey at home. He tried to slap behind the sofa, and another box flew in, and he jumped open and rolled into a pile of clothes. Mom, this room is as small as a candle, so I can't hide. Why do you have to run? Why? Ha, because you are the one chosen by heaven. The big fairy of the slippers chased him and said, the marathon is still 3 weeks. If you can't practice, the house will change every day. Come on, move on. Try to avoid training first. This is more exciting than the game you play, and it will ensure that your heart will be beat faster. The clothes in the room also began to fly, like a small storm, and the Saba had to flicker on the left and right. He gasped and returned on the floor, thinking, this is more attentive than hitting the boss. I would definitely do it all night long, and I don't want to be a living target. As soon as I go out for a run, isn't it even worse? Azaka seized the opportunity and said, wait, Daxian, you heard me. Why don't we discuss it? I ran 2 laps, would you let me play a half-hour game? Last time Xiaomei hit me, I didn't forget the awkward scene. She thought I had a negative IQ, and I didn't want to come again. The big fairy of the slipper paused for a moment. Oh? Xiaomei? The girl looked at you. I think she is a little interested in you. Remember? The moment she bumped into you, you were still stunned like a wooden head. Well, to motivate you, I will give you a chance. I will stop for 10 minutes after running 10 laps. But if you sneak up on you, I will chase you twice as much. Ah had hid the flying mist and recalled the events of that day. Xiaomei? Is her eyes curious or disgusted? I thought to myself, damn, what's wrong with this woman? I'm not a monster. As a result, as soon as she left me there. He tried to run 2 steps, and hit the edge of the sand, grinning in pain. Oh, it hurts so much. Are you doing this so hard? I have to walk even when I go to convenience stores. Do you want me to be an Olympic athlete now? The big fairy in the slippers continued to talk. Renier. That's the beginning. Boy, your love will make things fly even more. Look, you just mentioned Xiaomei and you're overwhelmed. Ha, this is your superpower reaction. Quickly, run. Think about the marathon, that's the big scene. If you don't practice well, Xiaomei might find someone who can run. Azaka continued to hide with panting, thinking, will Xiaomei look for someone else? Damn, is this shoe spirit trying to inspire me or cheat me? Ninka, stay at home, watch animation and eat noodles, and don't pursue any legends. He jumped open a flying box and grabbed a piece of clothing as a shield. Stop. Daxian, let's talk about the right thing. What is the sword in the shoe spirit war? Didn't you mention it? That's more numb than running, right? The big fairy in the slippers laughed. Oh, you finally asked. The battle of the shoe spirit is a marijuana. When you do your running, I will tell you. But now, be focused on avoiding it first. Come on, boy. The things in the room were flying even harder, and Azaka came back on the floor, thinking in his heart, it's so irritating. It turns out that not only running, but also having to deal with the battle. It feels like I've entered a horror game, but I still have to do it myself. Finally, the great fairy of slippers shouted, okay, stop at a moment. You're tired too. The thing slowly landed, and Ajay sat in the corner of the room, leaning against the wall and gasping for breath. It's over, I think. You win. He rubbed his knees in pain and thought to himself, this ability has something to do with my affection. As soon as I got nervous, things got crazy. I still feel disgusted when I heard the marathon, but whenever there was a shoe spirit war, wouldn't I have to learn to run for my life? Damn, this life is getting more and more uneven. The great fairy of slippers was proud. It's not bad, I've begun to understand. Next time we will continue to practice. Remember, you have to prepare well within 3 weeks, otherwise the battle will not be waiting for you. Azai stared at it, stood up, tried to take a deep breath, and thought to himself, war? This sounds even more awesome than I expected. I have to think about how to deal with it. Azai opened his eyes quietly, and his knees were so sore that he had straight eyebrows. He popped up from the bed and glanced at the street scene of the carriage outside the window, complaining in his heart, damn, these torn shoes were broken yesterday so hard that I felt like I was hit by a carriage. If I had known I would have put them to death. The voice of the slipper fairy came out from the floor, full of pride. Boy, got up? I was so hot yesterday, but today I have to be serious. If you lie down again, these soap boxes in the room will be dancing street dance. Azai stood up to endure the pain, staring at the slightly shaking clothes and empty boxes in the corner. Dance street dance? Are you saying they are going to chase me? Big fairy, I just woke up. I was forced to death by you yesterday, so you can't let me sleep more? He said, grabbing a t-shirt and swinging it over with his hands, and the thing swayed even more. He hurriedly opened his eyes. Hey, this ability is being broken again. If I don't leave, I will immediately make a horror movie scene at home. The slippers laughed. I think beautifully, practice running first. There are 3 weeks of marathon. If you sneak in, these things will make you unable to play in the game. Come on, put on me and go out to be hot. Azaka put on slippers and unhappy, and complained, hot. Please, I'll be free when I get up. Look at so many people outside. I'm going out for a run. I'll be sure to lose my face until I want to disappear. As soon as he said, the soaked noodles box flew over and smashed into the wall. He flicked his body and shouted, you're really good at this shoe spirit. Hard? That's your superpower saying. The big fairy in the slippers talked. Think about Xiaomei's eyes that day. She wasn't vain to you. Move quickly, go out to practice, don't let the streets make you feel uncomfortable. The auspicious door opened, and the noise on the road outside suddenly surged. He took a deep breath and rushed out. Okay, I'll go. But you have to make sure you don't let me get mad. I'll be a dog after running 2 steps. This superpower is simply a trick. As soon as he got on the street, Azai started trotting, his feet shaking as if he was drunk. He flashed Xiaomei's face in his brain and complained in his heart, Xiaomei's look, damn, do you think I'm sick or something? I thought at that time, I've seen me for so long, don't you think I'm going to fly, right? As a result, he thought about it, and the trash can suddenly floated up on the road, styling a passerby's way. The passerby jumped in surprise, what are you doing? Azaka pretended to be calm, the wind is too big, sorry. He thought to himself, it's over, it's even more awkward. If Xiaomei saw me scared and ran away, I would like to hide back to the apartment to play games, at least it was my house. The big fairy in the slippers laughed in her ears, boy, you'll lose control after running 2 steps, and the trash cans are all coming. Think about Xiaomei, if you practice well, this street will change your game, not a life-saving show. Shai replied, game place? Please. I ran and danced like a monkey, and all those dogs also flew, and I surrendered directly. The billboards around were swaying, and a dog was scared to cross the horse road. He had to hide from the left and right, and finally ran to the park. In the park, the birds were clamoring in the sound of the people, and the house was breathing as if it was almost breathing. Brother Daxian, I'm so weak that I can't run much. He tried to speed up, but as soon as the mood came, the nearby benches and leaves flew up, and several people on the walk screamed. Oh my God, what's going on? An ant shouted, and the zodiac stopped tightly, the wind is too big, I'm sorry. He complained in his heart, this superpower is so terrible. I'll get crazy when I get something tight. Whenever there are other shoe spirits, will I be doomed? The voice of the big fairy in the slippers became more serious. As soon as the emotions are in trouble, things will get crazy. Boy, take a deep breath and try to be calm. Think about Xiaomei, she sees you are a little bit meaningful, you have to control it well, otherwise other shoes will be targeted. Azaka did as he did, allowing the things to slowly land. He sat on the bench, his legs were too soft to move. It's too late, I think it's too crazy. I'll probably be chased by game monsters. And don't be a living target. The slipper's big fairy said, there are other shoe spirits outside staring at you. This time, the mess may attract uninvited guests. Be more careful next time. Azai touched his pocket and complained in his heart, other shoe spirits? Damn, this is more numb than I think. Not only running, but also fighting, I have to find a place to hide it first. He stood up and dragged his legs back. Azai dragged his tired body and walked slowly along the street from the park, complaining in his heart, damn, today I was running so hard that my legs seemed to be about to break. Do you want to turn me into a waste? The sound of the car speakers on the road quarreled with the sound of people. He was about to find a place to sneak a sneak peek, but a sudden storm swept over it, and it felt like someone was poking his back, making the papers and trash cans on the road start to fly. He jumped with a start, wow. What's the situation? Big fairy brother, are you playing with me again? The voice of the great fairy of the slippers came out from under her feet, and she heard it urgently, boy, it's not me, this is another shoe spirit causing trouble. It is trying to explore you, and calm yourself down, otherwise these things will fly even more violently. Azai widened his eyes and saw a trash can rising straight up and smashing it towards passers-by. He thought to himself, oh my God, this superpower is in trouble, so I just want to say that I will flash people today, but it turns out to be a disaster in the street. Once I hit someone, I have to hide in the quilt and put it to death. He hurriedly slapped his hand, trying to stop the trash can, but it just swayed and flew higher, almost hitting the wire pole. The alleys around were sometimes like crazy parties, with newspapers and empty jars stumbled around, and Ahom was hiding from the left and right, almost hitting the shoulder by a jar. Brother Daxian, don't you say I can control this ghost thing? Now they are like being possessed, he shouted, squatting down and flashing the flying billboard. The big fairy in the slippers laughed, control? Boy, you have to take a deep breath. Don't panic, and the emotions will jump as soon as you keep losing your face. If you continue to lose your face, the dog on the road may fly up to help you. The chastity gasped and tried to do what he wanted. He stood up straight, inhaling his breath, and thought in his heart, is this shoe spirit here to find fault? Damn, I can't even handle it myself. I just think about it. But as soon as this thought came out, the items flew harder, and a newspaper group headed straight to his face. He punched the wall. Stop. Don't be so arrogant. The smash made him calm a little, and the things began to land, but he knew the trouble was not over. Just as he wanted to escape back to the apartment, Xiaomei walked over from the park, holding coffee in her hand, and said with a smile, "Hey, Azai, are you playing magic here again? Those newspapers are dancing like they are lying on the verge." Azai stood up embarrassedly, thinking, Xiaomei is coming out at this time, damn, are she here to save me or laugh at me to death? When she looked at me, she always felt like she was saying I was stupid. He replied, it's not magic, it's too big. My ability is out of control again, and I have a shoe spirit doing it. Xiaomei approached and patted his arm. Relax and try to take a deep breath. Don't think too much, those things will be good, she said, and breathing deeply. Azaka followed and complained in his heart, take a deep breath? It sounds like a skill in a game. I don't believe it is useful. But Xiaomei said, everyone really works. Am I a geisha? Sure enough, he slowly calmed down, and the air calmed down, leaving only a stray dog barking on the road. He slammed, and the dog suddenly flew up and circled in the air, making Xiaomei laugh. Ha, Azai, did you let it fly? It's so fun. Azai smiled awkwardly, damn, I didn't want to let it fly, I'm upset again. Big Fairy, where's the shoe spirit? The slipper fairy said softly, it's gone, but boy, don't think it's over. A shadow flashed over, and the shoe spirit will be staring at you, and that's how it starts. Azai heard it, and his heart sank, the shoe spirit? Oh my god, this is even more trouble than I expected. I have to run faster, otherwise I will be chased directly next time. He looked at Xiaomei's smile and thought to himself, at least I haven't died all this time, this woman is not wrong. In the darkness, he turned to the apartment, and his brain was still muttering, this is so troublesome, I have to find a way to avoid being able to get rid of my ability. Azai kicked open the apartment door with his legs sore as if he had been caught. He thought to himself, damn, these dead legs are as tired as participating in Olympics. Do you still have to face this ghost thing at home? Suddenly, the room was filled with strange looks, and the comics and noodles bowls on the bookshelf began to feast, as if they had opened a crazy party. He retreated in surprise. Wow, Big Fairy, what's this? Last time I was flying on the street, I even turned into an air park this time. The voice of the Big Fairy in the slippers came out from under the floor, full of chanting, boy, you just dragged that pair of bare legs and wanted to flash? That pulling force was another shoe spirit poking you. Take a deep breath, do as Xiaomei said, don't let the emotions explode, otherwise your pants will fly out for the performance first. Azai stared at the quilt on the bed and got up, okay, I'll try it. But once I failed, I would hide from the bathroom and put it to death. He took a deep breath, and the items were temporarily stopped in the air, but when he lit up, the comic book popped over and smashed it at him. Oh! Ah! He shouted, Brother Daxian, don't you say I can control this stuff? Now the noodles bowl is whipping in the air, and once it hits me, I, the otaku, will be finished. The slipper fairy laughed, ha, boy, you have to take care of your brain first. Seeing your panic, the whole room is crazy. Come on, take another deep breath, and if you succeed, I will tell you about the shoe spirit. Azai thought to himself, this old man laughs at me, saying it simply, I can penetrate my body, and I even gasped my stares. Do you still have to play in the air now? He gritted his teeth and stood up, took another big breath, and stopped the items, but he started tightly again, and the snack bag shot towards the sand like a puff. Stop! Don't be so damn! He punched the table, and he made his town set the spot. The things finally landed slowly, and only a few clothes were left shaking. He gasped, damn, what is this test? I thought I was the protagonist, but the bedline was in trouble. Brother Daxian, is this shoe spirit playing with me for a cat? The big fairy voice of the slippers became more serious. Boy, don't be so arrogant, this is the Shoe Spirit Association's move. They are watching you not being tight. The pulling force was just a warning, and they might come directly next time. Azai heard it and complained in his heart, Shoe Spirit Association? Oh my god, this is even more irritating than the bad eggs in the anime. I just want to stay at home and eat soak noodles to watch movies, but you pulled it into this ridiculous thing. He slammed his head, took a deep breath, and the room was finally calm, leaving him breathing. No, boy, you haven't completely lost this time. The Great Fairy of Slippers said, remember to practice more, don't think it's safe to hide in the room. Azai rolled his eyes, practice? Brother Daxian, I'm almost vomiting blood every day when I practice games. Now I have to add this superpower class. Next time you go to a marathon, I'll just watch the show at home. He wanted to lie down, his eyes glimpsed at the blurred symbol on his old sports shoes, like a live shoe print. Hey, Big Fairy, what's the thing on the shoe? It looks like a tag, can it be something of the shoe spirit? If I ignore it, will the threat be greater next time? Big Fairy of Slippers said softly, boy, this is their record, which means you are targeted. Keep practicing, no change the target. Azaka's heart sank, damn, this is so irritating. I just wanted to be an otaku, and now I have to guard against my ability to get into trouble again. At least Xiaomei will probably help me calm down next time. He stared at the symbol and murmured, this symbol is so irritating, I feel that it will bring more trouble. Azai stared at the symbol on the old sports shoes and thought to himself, this symbol is like a cheating advertisement. Whatever the person chosen by heaven, I, like an otaku, have to worry about willpower when I get up, and now I still have to deal with this ghost's pulling force? Outside the window, a wind rushes into the room, blowing the comic books up from the bed. Azai jumps back and forth, wow, Brother Daxian, which door is this? The wind flies last time, and now my room has become a wind hole. The voice of the Big Fairy in the slippers came out from the bottom of the floor, carrying the habitual hymn, boy, are you fucking there? That's the shoe spirit that will test you, they let go of pulling. Do you feel your ankle being pulled? Don't shake there and calm your emotions, otherwise your noodles bowl will fly out to perform again. Azai thought to himself, shoe spirit contest? It sounds like a second-rate game server. Even the boss can't win with my ease. Do you still have to play the live-action superpower now? He gritted his teeth and held his feet calmly. As a result, two old shoes outside the window were slamming him like living things, sucking his ankles, making him unable to move. Damn, these shoes are really a mess. He shouted, punching the bed and trying to throw them off. Brother Daxian, what is this? He wants to sweep me up. How can I, the otaku? Who will save my snacks when I fall down? The Big Fairy in the slippers laughed, ha, boy, this is a test, see if you are not qualified to choose the person that day. Don't rush the fist there, remember you controlled the room last time? This time you become a game link, take a deep breath, and don't let the emotions explode. The items started to get messy, and the noodles bowls flew up from the table, and the comic book shot towards the wall. Azai was so scared that he wanted to escape, but was trapped by the flying clothes. Wow, this room has become an air party. The noodles bowls are about to hit the head, Big Fairy, I can't hold it. Boy, do you think this is your otaku paradise? Stay calm again, otherwise your pants will perform a dressing show first. The Big Fairy of the slipper continued to talk. Azai sucked his breath hard once, his chest undulated, and the items turned in the air, and finally stopped slowly. The old shoes loosened his ankles and he gasped, it's so hard. It's even more impressive than the game I've trained. I wanted to stay at home and watch animation, but it turned out to be a superhero trial. At this moment, the door was shocked, and Azai was stunned for a moment. Who, are you here again? He opened the door, Xiaomei stood there, holding the sports water tank in her hand, and said with a smile, Azai, I heard that you were having trouble again, and the whole building was silent. Come on, I will help you finish it. The room was still confused, and the snack bag fell all over the floor. Azai thought, why does Xiaomei always appear at this time? Is she an angel in the neighborhood or something? At least she is not as fond of my pain as Big Fairy Brother. Xiaomei walked in and saw Fei Wu's clothes, and then she easily grabbed his hand. You are so crazy in the air. Take a deep breath with me, Azue. They did it together. Azue took her breath and the room finally calmed down. He relaxed his voice. Xiaomei, thank you. How did you know I'm in trouble here? Xiaomei blinked. I've just passed by and heard you shouting. Look at the symbol on the shoes, it's not right. I feel that the shoe spirit will be on you, and we have to find a way to deal with it. Azai turned his head and stared at the shoes, complaining in his heart, isn't it right? Of course, it's not right. I wanted to live a stable life in a stable house, and now I have to be wary of these ruins. He asked Xiaomei, then what should we do? I'll be more powerful every time. Can my otakus with such a strong body withstand it? Xiaomei patted his shoulder, don't panic, we will practice together. Next time there is power I'll cover you. Azai pointed at the head and thought to herself, at least I'm not that alone with Xiaomei. My life has become a risk-taking book now. Damn, it might be really interesting. They looked at the symbol together. Xiaomei's whisper, Azai, I seem to have seen this symbol somewhere. We have to find out quickly, otherwise it will not be as fun as the party next time. Azaka and Xiaomei sat in front of his dimly lit computer desk, the screen light shining straight on his face, making people unable to help blinking. He grabbed the mouse, clicked on the browser, and thought to himself, damn, this symbol is like watching a hidden card that is playing free games. If you have no idea, I am such an otaku in vain. Xiaomei came over. Aoya, search for that symbol quickly. I seem to have been brushing something similar in the forum. Don't think too much, just explain the game and play. At the head of the home, click on the keyboard to enter the symbol, and several results pop up on the web. He looked at him. What is the hidden energy source written in this post? It sounds like a false story. Hello, Xiaomei, what do you think? Can't you hide the secrets in my shoes? Xiaomei smiled, maybe, but there is a reply to the spirit of carrying shoes underneath. Ah, take a deep breath, don't make yourself too excited. The room suddenly swayed, and the snack bags popped up from the table, like a crazy ball of air flying towards the ceiling. Azai retreated in surprise. Wow, Xiaomei, look. The potato chip bag is flying. Xiaomei grabbed his arm. Azai, take a deep breath. This is not a bug, it's your superpower that is working on. Let's calm down together, don't let the noodles bowl smash something. The voice of the big fairy in the slippers popped up from the floor, smiling. Boy, do you think this is an otaku simulator? Keep your feelings well, otherwise the inner pants will be depressed when they go down the field. Azaka rolled his eyes. Brother Daxian, you are always in trouble. It seems like you are joking, which makes me even more troubled. He tried to take a deep breath, but the keyboard slid over the table, hit the water cup, and made a thud. Xiaomei grabbed him. Don't be bothered, suck and vomit with me. Come, suck, vomit, Azai, you can do it. They took a deep breath, and the things in the room were even more complicated. The snack bag pounded the wall, and Azai was locked. Oh, this broken bag is going to hit me. He tried to grab it, so that everything could fly farther, thinking to himself, this ability is really not powerful. I can even practice games, and I'm actually like a novice. Xiaomei jumped up and grabbed a flying potato chip bag. Ah, concentrate. That's how you were last time. She pulled his arm hard, and they took deep breaths, and the items slowly fell down. Azai was panting. It's so hard, it's not a big deal. Xiaomei, you always save the scene. Can't you think you have superpowers for premonition? Xiaomei smiled. No, I just come here to find Lazy Ear. Come on, continue to investigate, but you have to suppress your feelings. The big fairy slippers interjected again. Boy, I don't want to pay any money. I didn't let the noodles be smashed this time. I'll try to control the storm next time. Azaka glared on the floor. Brother Daxian, don't make trouble. I originally wanted to stay at home to cook noodles and watch animations, but now it's like fighting a boss fight on the internet. Xiaomei patted his shoulder. Don't complain, we practice. Azaka, sit down and try to take a deep breath. They moved to the corner of the room. Azai sat upright, closed her eyes. Okay, suck in, spit out. Xiaomei said on the side, yes, that's it. Is the thing stable? Azai was slim and the room was calm. Well, I won't fly anymore. Thank you, Xiaomei, I'll get rid of it if I don't have you. I thought to myself, with Xiaomei, I feel that I'm not alone. This adventure is more exciting than watching animation myself. Xiaomei pointed at the head. It's okay, we are partners. I'll cover you next time I have something to do. Azaka turned to look at the screen, and the symbol was still there. He thought to himself, this symbol always seems to be laughing at me. What more crazy test will it bring next time? He grabbed the mouse and continued to search. Azaka took Xiaomei's hand and rushed out of the apartment door. When the night wind blew, the lights on the street made him blink. He thought to himself, damn, this is great. From playing a game to a superpower show, I can eat noodles and watch animation at home. Xiaomei pulled his sleeve. Aoya, don't be stunned, go forward. Remember to take a deep breath and don't let your strange power come again. They turned into the street, where people were snatching people and the car horns were clamoring. The sababi was tightly lit, and the things in his hand started to be inconsistent, and the trash can next to him suddenly flew, as if someone was madly playing. He widened his eyes. Wow, Xiaomei, that trash can is flying. What's going on? Passers-by screamed, and an ant jumped and shouted, oh my god, what's this? Hide and hide. The trash can hit the road light with a bang, and the lights flashed, and passers-by fled in all directions. Xiaomei grabbed Azaka's arm and said, take a deep breath, Azaka. Take a breath, exhale, don't panic. Azaka closed his eyes and complained in his brain, this superpower is simply my malicious dream. I can calm down when playing games. Now I walk like a boss fight. Every policeman comes, what do I say? Say my shoes are causing trouble? He opened his eyes quietly, and saw that the lights burst out when the road lights exploded, and fragments fell to the ground. A man selling a hot dog shouted, what are you two doing? If you don't stop, I'll call the police. The voice of the great fairy of the slippers popped up from the bottom of his eyes shoes and joked, boy, don't put on garlic there. Your superpower is not a bad prop, it's your upgrade gift. Keep your emotions in mind, otherwise the spirit of the shoe will catch up. Azai rolled his eyes. Brother Daxian, you love to joke every time, which makes me want to cry even more. Please think of a way. Xiaomei hid in the alley next to him. Azai, listen to me, take a deeper breath. Come on, suck vomit, you can get it. They leaned against the wall. Azaka took a deep breath, and the things around him finally settled down. The trash can landed on the ground, and passers-by began to whisper, maybe it's an illusion. Xiaomei relaxed, it's not wrong, Azaka, you can control it. We continue to go to the old warehouse, so don't let things fly. Azaka pointed at the head and thought to herself, this ability is so irritating. She flew up when she ate soaking noodles at home. Am I going to die of thirst? But with Xiaomei, at least she is not as lonely as she watches animation. They quickly crossed the streets and came outside the old warehouse. The place was dark and the grass was very long. The wind blew. Azai glanced at him, damn, it's like a horror movie scene. I'm Ningku staying at home. Xiaomei pushed his shoulder, don't complain, come and practice. Remember last time you were in the room, you stayed stable. The big fairy in the slippers interrupted, boy, this is a good opportunity for practice. Try to control your storm, otherwise your inner trousers will fly next time. Azai squatted down, took a deep breath and concentrated, and the empty jar next to him began to shake. He snatched his hand and tried to press it, but the jar flew up and hit the warehouse door. He was startled, oh. Xiaomei held him, Azaka, come slowly. You have made progress, at least it hasn't made the whole street turn. Azaka gasped, brother Big Fairy, this ability is not a bug, but my otaku tool? It's like a game card every time, making me extremely broken. The big fairy in the slippers smiled. Boy, don't be a vegetarian bird anymore, control your storm, the shoe spirit will not wait for you to procrastinate. After practicing, Azaka noticed a symbol engraved on the warehouse door, just like on the computer. He pointed to him and said, Xiaomei, look. Another symbol, why are the shoe spirits staring at us? Xiaomei looked closer and said, yes, this trouble is so irritating. Come on, take a deep breath and calm down. Azaka did as he did, thinking, this symbol always seems to be laughing at me. Whenever I feel sorry, how can I, otakus? When they discussed, Xiaomei said, Azaka, you are not alone, we will work together. Take a deep breath and don't let things fly again. The big fairy in the slippers talked, boy, are you ready? Don't get out of control before entering. Azaka stood up and said, okay, let's go. Phone blew out of the warehouse. He blew coldly, thinking in his heart, is this symbol warning us that the shoe spirit has already been on the target? Can we still calm down next time? They walked towards the door step by step. They pushed the warehouse door open, and the door squeaked, and a gray smell in their noses were slammed. Azai coughed twice immediately. Damn it, this place is as dark as my room. Forgot to open the lights, and I feel like I'll be surprised at any time. He took out his phone, lit the screen, and tried to illuminate the narrow corridor in front of him. As soon as the light shone, the dust around it flew up, as if someone was shaking the bed. Xiaomei grabbed his sleeve. Aoya, what's your hand shaking? The light of your phone is shaking. She just fell, the light of her phone flashed, and the old shoes next to her suddenly flew up and headed straight for them. Azai jumped back in surprise. Damn. Why are your shoes moving by themselves? Xiaomei, it's flashing. A pair of broken sports shoes shone over his shoulders, slammed into the wall, and the dust exploded, making it look like a crazy cat. Azai thought to himself, this superpower is really my nightmare. When playing games, it is mostly a button. Now all the shoes have become flying balls. If you hit me, the otaku, don't you just lie down? He tried to keep his picture steady, but it was useless. The empty jar on his foot began to sway, hitting another pair of shoes, causing a series of shoes to smear. The shoes seemed to be possessed and smashed at them. Aoya, don't panic, take a deep breath. Xiaomei shouted, flashing a pair of flying slippers, you came over on the street last time, and it's okay now. She pulled his arm and hid in the corner of the wall. Azai replied loudly, I'll try it. Brother Daxian, don't just watch the scenes in your shoes, help me. The voice of Daxian of the slippers popped out from the soles of his shoes, and he was joking, boy, you're so mean, don't think I'll come to wipe my butt. Pay attention. Press your energy, otherwise these shoes will throw you away as a toy. Xiaomei shook his hand tightly, come on, suck, 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 together. Suck, suck. Azaka closed his eyes and complained in his brain, this ability is so irritating. I fly my shoes and I'm so unmoving. But Xiaomei is like a teammate, and she is always stronger than a single fight. He slowly relaxed, took a deep breath, and the objects around him began to slump, and the shoes fell to the ground, and the dust finally became quiet. Azaka opened his eyes and wiped his sweat. Xiaomei, thank you, I almost thought this superpower would ruin us. As a result, it would still become my otaku weapon. I said it might be difficult to fly with it next time I play the game. Xiaomei smiled and patted his back, it's not wrong, Azaka, you're just super stable, and you feel like you've had a game challenge. The big fairy in the slippers interjected, boy, you've made some progress, and you've changed from a novice to a vegetarian bird. But don't be proud, there is a symbol in front of you, waiting for you to touch it. They walked forward and came to the edge of the entrance, which had a symbol engraved, illuminating like a special effect on the screen. Azai reached out and touched it curiously, and the symbol suddenly lit up, a light illuminating their faces. Oh, this thing will shine. He shrunk his hands in a panic and thought to himself, this symbol is like a game trap, and it will be touched as soon as I am a poor otaku. Once monsters appear, wouldn't he kneel directly? Xiaomei came to see, Azaka, this symbol is the same as last time. It may be something of the shoe spirit association. The voice of the slipper immortal became serious. Boy, you've been fooled this time. That's their energy source, and they've already set their sights on you. Don't be like a novice, keep your superpowers fast, otherwise they will chase you. Azaka rolled her eyes. Brother Big Immortal, you say half of it every time, which makes me want to hide back and watch animation. What's the shoe spirit association? I'll give you a complete guide next time. We'll face it together, Azai, Xiaomei said. You just controlled it and proved that you can. The symbol may be just a warning, not an immediate attack. Azai was pointed and thought to himself, this symbol always seems to be mocking me. From staying at home and coming here, I feel forced into a new plot. But Xiaomei and this immortal, at least it's not that bad. Just as they were discussing, there was a low murmur everywhere, as if someone was quietly speaking. Azaka turned around and asked Xiaomei, what is that sound? Is the shoe spirit already waiting behind the door? Xiaomei browsed, it's not right to hear it. Azaka, be prepared, we have to be careful. They shook hands tightly, walked slowly towards the sound, and their feet rose in the dark. They pushed open the door, and a smell of old leather and dust rushed in. They sniffed immediately, damn, it smells like my old sucklings. Xiaomei, why does this place look like a garbage dump? Xiaomei pulled his arm and glanced in. The shoes are full of chaos, we have to find something quickly. In the room, the lights flashed constantly, illuminating the torn shoes. A pair of canvas shoes suddenly lit up, like a mobile phone flashlight, and then a strange voice came out, oh, big brother and sister, what are you here to fuck? This is my floor, flashing. Azai jumped back in surprise, wow, what are you talking about? Little shoe spirit, what are you? Don't suddenly light up so dazzling. Little shoe spirit responded in the funny dialect, I'm the little shoe spirit sentry, guarding here. Otaku, your energy is too strong, something happens when you touch it, please stare at it, go quickly. Azai thought to himself, the words of these shoes are like NPCs in the game, with an accent, which is super funny. But my superpower is about to be damned again, and my shoes are flying around, and my unmoving body is lying flat. He tried to calm himself down, and his superpower was stimulated, and the shoes in the room began to roll, like a toy being woken up. Xiaomei, open! Azai shouted, hiding away from a pair of old sneakers. Xiaomei grabbed his hand and pulled him to the wall. Take a deep breath, don't let it come. You did it last time, this time is okay. The shoes became more and more crazy, and they pounded, and the room turned into a crazy cat. Azai shouted loudly, little shoe spirit, you are such a funny sentry, don't let your shoes fly. My superpower is not a joke, it will make us beaten to pieces. Little shoe spirit hurriedly said, oh, brother, your otaku's energy is like a firecracker, you have to suppress it yourself. It's your eyeline that is gone, they are staring at you, stay calm, otherwise everyone will be finished. The voice of the big fairy in the slippers popped up from the soles of Azaka's shoes, with a hymn, boy, don't shout there, be a hero. Focus on it to suppress your energy, otherwise you will kick you away. Azaka rolled his eyes, brother Daxian, you are like this every time, which makes me want to hide back and play games. How to suppress it? Azaka gave us a clear trick. Xiaomei interrupted, Azaka, I heard about the big fairy, let's do it together when I did the last time. The shoes continued to stumble, Azaka and Xiaomei held hands and cooperated with each other. Xiaomei pointed to the front, there are shoes flying over on the right, turn around quickly. The zodiac hurriedly opened, damn, this is too exciting, it seems like you are hitting a boss. Inside, Azai complained, I originally wanted to stay at home to watch animation, but now I have become a shoe expert. Once I was hit, my body was GG, but Xiaomei was very powerful, like a teammate saving me. They cooperated better and better. Azai closed his eyes and took a deep breath, slowly pressing his superpowers. The shoes slowed down and finally hit the ground with a bang, and the room became peaceful. The voice of the little shoe spirit became smaller, okay, brother, you're calm. The eyeline is not simple, they will chase you. Azai wiped his sweat, little shoe spirit, thank you for reminding you that you almost thought we were going to be buried. What is your line? It sounds like a monitor chasing someone. Xiaomei patted his back. Zai, you are just amazing, you have become controllable from a mess. We have to talk about this. The big fairy in the slippers jokingly said with a chat. Boy, it's not bad. He looks a little like a hero. But don't be proud. There is still danger outside. Come and think of it. Zai pointed at the head and thought to himself, it feels good. It's like a connection. Although I'm exhausted, Xiaomei and Daxian are always stronger than me. Are you agreeing to the eye-line? It's so irritating, so you might have to run away. Ning Jing in the room only maintained her spirit for a while, and said, the eyes of the meeting have been locked, you are ready. Azaka and Xiaomei took a look, and walked outside the room and asked, what is that? Xiaomei, we have to leave. They shook hands tightly and rushed towards the door. As soon as they ran out of the room, they headed straight into a dark alley. The night was dark, and the street lights were like broken neon lights. Zai was panting and holding Xiaomei's hand. Damn, Xiaomei, this place is dark, I can't see the road clearly, I fall, I will report it directly. Xiaomei pulled his arm tightly. Zai, don't panic, we have to run quickly, have you heard, something is chasing behind you. Sure enough, a pair of old leather shoes jumped and followed from behind, like drunken guys, with strange light emitted on the pointed edges of the shoes. Oh, brother and sister, don't run away. The energy stone of the meeting is waiting for you, let's talk. Leather shoes shouted in the funny dialect, and the sound was reverberating in the alley, like a funny broadcast. Azai thought to himself, the shoes really make time to chase people, so I just suppressed my superpowers. I'm going to be in trouble now. I've lost control all the time, and I'm even breathing like this when I run, so I might just lie down. He tried to take a deep breath, and felt an energy rising from the bottom of his feet, causing the street lights around to suddenly flash, and the trash can beside him began to swell, as if he was pushed by a devil. Wow, you jump shoes, don't chase them again. Azai shouted, pulling Xiaomei into a corner, and Xiaomei pulled him to the right. Azai, there is a big pit on the left, turn it quickly. Your superpower is causing us to hit the wall again, don't let it hit us. The leather shoes jumped even more. Brother, the otakus on your body is extremely powerful, I would like to use the energy stone to help you. Don't run away, I guarantee you won't bite. They dodged left and right in the narrow alley. Azai's superpowers were out of control. The empty cans around him flew up and hit the wall, turning into a deserted cat game. Xiaomei, this is too exciting. It's like the escape link I'm playing, but I don't have any blood in the real version. Azai said gasping, and Xiaomei pushed him, don't go away, push forward, there is a small path on the right, we can throw it away. The alley turned into the chaotic streets, people came and went, the road lights were swaying, and there was a car shouting far away, and the leather shoes jumped in front of me and said, oh, brother, I heard me that the energy stone can make you super stable, no longer have to worry about flying shoes. It jumped and shouted, its sound was like a lingering neighborhood. Azai stopped and responded panting, damn, don't put on good people there, my superpowers are not toys, I exploded one after another, everyone is finished. He tried to make energy, so he let the report on the side fly, smashed it to the leather shoes, and the leather shoes opened vigorously. Brother, you're good at this, but you'll know the eyes are all over the streets. Energy stones are the key, hurry up and follow us. Xiaomei took Azaka's hand and took him over a bunch of stutters. Azaka, don't listen to it nonsense, take a deep breath, control yourself, we have to find a place to hide. She pointed ahead, there is a phone booth over there, hurry up. Azaka complained in her heart, this woman is so reliable. She looks like a team leader in every crisis, but why does my superpower always get stuck? I originally wanted to stay at home to make noodles and play animations, but now I have become a fugitive on the street. They finally rushed to the telephone booth on the old road, hid in the air, and heard the sound of the street outside. The sound of the jumping of the leather shoes stopped. Azai leaned against the wall and sucked in a big mouth. Xiaomei, have we throw it off? Damn, my legs are soft, and it feels like I've run a marathon. Xiaomei wiped her sweat and patted his shoulder. You're doing well, Azai, you're so professional in hiding. What does the energy stone mean when you hear the shoes? It sounds like a game prop. The voice of the big fairy in the slippers popped up from the soles of Azaka's shoes, and he was joking. Boy, it's not wrong. He ran quite fast, almost thinking you were going to give up. The energy stone is the treasure of the meeting. It can stabilize your superpowers, but don't rush to snatch it. Now I'll take a breath first. Azaka rolled his eyes. Brother Daxian, you always say this, which makes me want to go home even more. Energy stone? One more pit. I, like an otaku, can't stand it. Xiaomei squatted down and adjusted her breathing. We have to plan. Azai, your superpower is getting better and better. I may be able to use it to deal with those eye lines. Azai pointed at her head and thought to herself, with Xiaomei here, I feel less tired. Although I am tired, this absurd adventure is like a game that may be quite interesting. Just as they were gasping, a low murmur came from afar, like a whisper blown by the wind. Azai said curiously, what is the energy stone? Have we really thrown it off? Little May pulled his hand tightly, and the two looked at the dark street together. They crawled out of the telephone pavilion and walked forward along the dim street. The owie held Xiaomei's hand, panting like a dog that was quickly breathing. Damn, Xiaomei, my legs are shaking like the croquette. When I ran this way, I felt like the noodles in my body melted. If I didn't go into that convenience store, I would definitely fall down. Xiaomei pointed and pulled him into the alley. Okay, a stumble, don't complain there. There is a 24-hour shop ahead. We rushed in to buy drinks and take a sip before talking. But remember, don't be careless, the guys in the meeting might be watching nearby. They opened the glass door, and the lights in the store were dazzling, and the air smelled of potato chips and coffee. Azaka locked the beverage rack at a glance, headed straight over, grabbed a can of iced sports drinks. Good. Xiaomei, what do you want? Red beef or water? I need this thing to help my life now, and I feel my heart jumping to my throat. Xiaomei looked around and said in a low voice, just take 2 cans, we will pay and leave quickly. This place looks a little peaceful, and it always seems strange. Azai turned his head and took a big gulp, thinking to himself, it's been a good time, but every time I want to take a breath, something happens. Can't I be determined to be a superhero? Please, I feel tired even when I climb the stairs. He grinned, Xiaomei, you're right, I'll drink it. If the machine suddenly rises, I can at least throw the can and smash it back. The sound just fell, and the cellar automatically shaking in the corner, and the drink jar inside pounded, like a little ghost was joking. Wow, what's this ghost? Azaka widened his eyes. A jar flew out, smashing the nearby potato chip holder, and everything was full of things. He instinctively reached out his hand and tried to use superpower pressure to make it. Xiaomei, look, this thing is picking me. I'll try to see if I can stop it. A heat flowed from inside him, the lights flashed, and more jars popped out, causing the shelf to sway. Xiaomei grabbed his arm and pulled him back. Azaka, don't use that force. You're out of control again, stop. She pushed him and opened a can of flying drinks. Did you hear that? The machine is in a whisper, saying that the energy stone is wrong. We have flash. Azaka tightened his fist and tried to stabilize the energy. As a result, a row of cans of jars shot towards the door. I'll go. I wanted to help, but I turned into a destructive king. It's so rippling, like I pressed the wrong key in the game, and the boss killed the whole team in seconds. The machine sounded like a lively passerby. The energy stone can suppress your miserable force, but it will also lock you up, like a crocodile. Don't touch it, brother. Azaka heard it, and he complained in his heart, click it up? It's so terrible. I don't want that ghost thing. I originally wanted to stay at home to watch animation, but now the machine is coming to me, don't be rude. He turned his head and shouted, Xiaomei, let's go. This place is about to change. Xiaomei grabbed his clothes and thrust into the door. Yes, don't worry, Ajai, your superpowers are getting stronger and stronger, but they are also getting more and more love. Remember, the energy stone may be a trap, let's run for life first. They rushed out, and a pile of cans flew out, smashing on the street, and passers-by screamed. The voice of the big fairy in the slippers popped up from the soles of outsized shoes. Boy, it's good, it makes the streets fly. The energy stone can really stabilize your energy, but don't rush to refuse, maybe it's your savior. Ajay ran and gasped, and said, Brother Big Fairy, don't talk about it. I'm so full of breathing now. How can I feel like a savior? The stone turned me into a tool man, and my life was destroyed directly. Little Mela turned him into a dark alley, and the two of them gasped in a deep breath against the wall. She said, Aoya, don't think too much, just take a breath. That humor just sounded bad, so we have to find a way to avoid it. Azaka was sweating and thought to himself, the secret of this energy stone is too cumbersome. Maybe it's a trap for the meeting, so I don't want to be dragged in. He asked in a low voice, Xiaomei, what do you think? Do we still have to run? Xiaomei shook his hand tightly. Of course, Azaka, we will deal with it together. Your superpower will be stable, don't panic. The wind blew in the alley, and they stood quietly, with shadows flashing under the lights far away. Azaka thought to himself, this is so numb, I feel that the next crisis is coming. In the shadow of the alley, Ajay stood in the wall, his chest still undulating, as if he had just finished a marathon that he would never participate in. Xiaomei stood beside her, glanced around, as if she was looking for the next trouble. Aoya, don't be there, gasping like a fish, she said. We have to say this energy stone. It's just that its strange sound doesn't seem like a joke. Azaka wiped his sweat and thought to himself, this energy stone is simply an app that can bite people. I originally wanted to watch the episode at home, and now I have to play this absurd superpower game. He straightened his waist and put on an indifferent look. Xiaomei, you said it right, I have to try to control this energy. If I stayed stable, I would be less awkward scenes like bugs when playing games. Little Mei pulled his hand, her voice softened. Don't worry, Ajay, your superpowers are not a burden, but the sound of the stone is too strange. We have to try the Neo Dao first. If something happens, I'll pull you away. She stared at him, her eyes slightly worried. Are you ready? Just try not to let it come. Ahon was at the head, stretched out her hands, and a hot wave surged in her brain. Okay, come on, he said. The street lights in the alley suddenly swayed, as if they were blown by an invisible wind. A trash can flew up and hit the wall with a slam, causing a huge blow. Wow, this is actually moving. Azaka widened his eyes and complained in his heart, I'll go, do you really hear me with such strength? It feels like you've drawn an SSR card, but you may collapse in the next second. Xiaomei stepped back and grabbed his arm, Aoya, stay calm. Don't let it grow. She shouted, but a smile appeared on her face, you look like a cartoon-like otaku's hero, making a mess. The street lights burst into brightness, making the alley as bright as white. The nearby trash can start to break, knocking over the pile of papers, and the papers fly away and get rid of them. A passerby was hit by a paper and fell funnily, falling to the sky. Damn, this is out of control. Azai shouted, punching the wall, causing gravel to fall. He felt that the heat was like a trance and thought, is this stone here to help or be chaotic? Maybe I missed it and the whole street turned into my personal game. A street light turned off the shelf and flew towards them. Xiaomei pushed him open, and they flashed to one side, and the light hit the ground, making the sound deafening. Xiaomei grabbed his clothes and said, Azaka, move on, use your strength to press back. She said loudly, think about how you can be stable when you hit the boss. Azaka gritted her teeth, held her hands, and focused. The heat flow slowly faded, and the street lights and trash cans fell, as if they were pulled back to their original position. A trash can is a passerby, and the guy fell like a funny actor, making the scene even more ridiculous. Ha, it's done. Azaka gasped, feeling her chest getting lighter. Xiaomei, I'm pretty good. This energy stone can help me feel stable, but its sound is really scary. Xiaomei opened her hand and patted him on the shoulder. Not bad, Azaka, you look like you. Not every time you jump like a game bug. She smiled, but we have to be quick, this place is too noisy. Whenever there are uninvited guests, we will be finished. They returned to the corner of the alley and slowly calmed down. The energy stone flashed from the sole of Azaka's shoes, and a blurred sound came out. The eyes of the meeting are closer, and the chains are double-faced. Azaka's eyebrows and thought to himself, double-faced? It sounds like a big pit, so I don't want to be locked up. I originally wanted to live a stable life, but now all the stones are coming. Xiaomei approached and asked in a low voice, Azaka, have you heard it? That sound said that the eyes are close. What does this mean? Whenever there is a trap, we can't touch it. Azaka snatched his head. Yes, Xiaomei, this stone may be a trap for the Congress. I don't want to be dragged in. He looked at her, his eyes a little hesitant, but if it really stabilizes my strength, wouldn't we be a little trouble? Xiaomei shook his hand tightly. Don't think too much, we'll do it together. Your superpowers will become stronger, but now go first. They turned to the exit of the alley, and the flash of the energy stone suddenly became stronger, and a sound was rumbling. The chain is about to be tightened. Azai and Xiaomei met, and he thought to himself, it's so chaotic that I feel that the bigger trouble is coming to the door. They speeded up and disappeared into the shadow.